I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
real-world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. We are proud to be bringing you live coverage once again of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship coming up tonight from Road Atlanta, Brazelton, Georgia, right across the street from the old Lanier National Speedway. My name is Chris Graham. Joined tonight in the booth by James Watson and by Mr. Kylo Ciacelli. We'll get the graphics updated for get Kylo's name on there before the end of the show, but getting ready to roll out here tonight. Another monster strength of field here, James. How about 36.94 to kick the season off?
Oh, man, that's exactly how you want to start the season. You want to have
the big names starting off right at the beginning. You need to get these points. You can't afford to drop these points early. So having these big SOFs in your back pocket, that's going to be huge. Really setting the tone for the championship battle.
Yeah, they're quite frankly, there's a lot of tone that's going to be set tonight here. And let's go side by side. We'll bring up the graphics for you as well here so you can see where your favorite is. Left-hand side of the screen, we have Chris Preston currently leading the point standings. Right-hand side, one of the guys who was a contender all throughout last season, Chris Preston. Graham Sanders is back. Preston is back. Everett Paddock, David Porcelli, they're all back. Couple of interesting new names that we're seeing, or some returning names as well. Frank Wynn is back after taking a season or two off. Matt Houston of Raceverse fame is in this one as well. And quite frankly, showing the growth in the popularity of the PM18s. IndyCar YouTuber David Land is running in the second split here tonight. This really, Kylo, speaks volumes about the growth of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship on iRacing.
Yeah, it certainly has. Over the last few seasons, we've been getting these super high strength of fields every Thursday night, and the guys keep coming back. It's a show every week, and it's good to see the same names. We've got a nice little community going here. As everybody's just about finishing up their first flyer laps, we'll see how they come up. Preston looks like he's going to be one of the first to cross the line. Coming down the back straightaway towards turn 10A and B, the chicane at the end of the lap.
Jason Sieg going to be one of the first to cross the line. 1 minute 15.958 seconds the lap time for Sieg. Richard Holt, Brian Labarge, Rod Eskew, and Russ Addy have all set lap times at this point. None of the big names, at least the front-running names that we saw last season, have come across the line, but Chris Preston is on a monster. Purple every sector. New quick time, Chris Preston, 1 minute 15.180 seconds. David Porcelli, personal best every sector, but not good enough for the pole. Same for Graham Sanders at this point. Personal best in every sector, not doing enough to get to the top of the board. David Porcelli to 115.429. That was a monster lap by Chris Preston. Graham Sanders coming across the line here any second now, as will be Everett Paddock and Matt Houston. Graham Sanders, second quick, 115.393 seconds. Let's pick up Sanders as he's working his way. He'll be on the right-hand side of your screen. Chris Preston on the left-hand side. Everybody else seeing a lot of orange up there, meaning not personal best sectors. The 10 of Richard Holt having a pretty good lap. He's going to move up to fourth quick. Good lap there, 1 minute 15.544 seconds. Same story for John Landon, 115.8. That will move him up into the 8th position. Chris Preston, 2 more purple sectors. He's trying to best the lap time. Can he get into the 1 minute 14s? Gonna be close. New quick time.
He doesn't.
Wow, 1 minute 15.084 for Chris Preston. That lap was a monster. But Graham Sanders, David Porcelli goes P2. What can Graham Sanders do?
It's going to be close with Graham here. He comes over the hill at the end of the lap here.
Sanders over the line, and he's on the pole. 1 minute 14.946 seconds. 1:14.946, the lap timer record for Graham Sanders. That lap was a monster lap. Let's pick up Nagisio Shikawa out on the racetrack here, just working on finishing up his final lap. He's gone personal best sectors all the way around. Yoshikawa currently 6th quick at a 1:15.68. What can he do here on lap number 2? Again, personal best. He's going to move up to 5th quick. And that will wrap up qualifications. Graham Sanders with a monster lap into the 1 minute 14s. And James, this speaks to spicy here, bud. We've got a ton of race cars within a tenth or two of each other. The entire first 2 rows are going to be that tight.
Yeah, and plus we have the entire top 11 within a second of each other. this is going to get interesting. The second half of this course can get pretty draft heavy. If you can stay within the car in front through all the tightness and the fun that is the 2-3 section, you can have an opportunity to make some serious dive bombs into the backstretch chicane.
Let's take a look at your starting grid as we get ready for tonight's 23-lap feature event. Graham Sanders by a call to 10th and a half over Chris Preston for row number 1. Row 2 going to have David Porcelli and Everett Paddock. Nagase Yoshikawa, Richard Holt on row number 3. Row 4 will have Benjamin Kupke and Russ Addy. James Galloway, Jason Sieg on row number 5. Row 6 will have California's Tom Whitmer and Canada's John Landon. Row number 7, Frankie D from Ohio, Frank Wynn out of the Great White North lining up alongside of each other. And on row number 8 going to be Brian Labarge and Rod Eskew. All alone on row number 9, just 2 seconds off the pace, Matt Houston out of the great state of Indiana. 17 cars getting ready to do battle here. Still waiting on David Porcelli to get on the grid. This is going to be looks like it will be a full pace lap all the way around here. And as these guys get moving, we'll let James and Kylo kind of talk you around Road Atlanta. This is one of those places that absolutely drives me nuts. Some people love it. Not many people hate it. I'm in the vocal minority that do. But you got the big blast down the front stretch here, and then things start to get a little iffy already at turn 1 there, James.
Yeah, this is the first of many gut check moments here. It's banked, but it's deceiving. You think you can carry a lot of speed in here, and you can, but it's dangerous on cold tires, especially these cold tires. You're not going to have the grip you're looking for up on turn 1, so the chance of going off into the grass is really high.
Yeah, and then as you come down the hill, what is turn 2 and 3, then this blind turn 4A, then we go to turn 4X, and then we go to turn 4Z before we make the final left onto what is actually turn 5 and down this little short chute. Really tricky part of the racetrack, super quick though. A little bit of understeer can push you wide. You can ride those curbs though on entry and use them to get turned in though. And then down this short back straightaway towards the next corner complex on the track, turn 6 and 7.
And James, this is what leads you out onto that long back straightaway. It used to be significantly straight enough for the Whittington brothers to land drug running planes on it. Now it has a little bit of undulation, a little bit of character, but this is still crazy fast here.
Yeah, you really need to nail the 6 and 7 complex, otherwise you're just going to completely tank your lap, because this is a really long straightaway. And the best passing opportunity on this track is down into the 10A chicane. So if you screw up 6 and 7, you're going to be in a world of pain.
This is about the point of the racetrack, I would imagine, guys, where we're talking about being draft locked. But you also, kind of in the same breath that you're having that thought, you also have to be ready to woe yourself down in a big way downhill into 10A. This is not an easy little complex. 10A right here and then 10B, the quick switchback to the right.
Yeah, both of these corners super deceitful on how these curbs can handle, especially on low tire pressures. Got to be careful on those curbs. They're lining them up. The pace car's off. We're getting ready to go green.
Through turn 11 and 12, green flag goes in the air. Graham Sanders gets a fantastic jump on Chris Preston. David Porcelli going to be right there as well. Who's going to make it through turn 1 thus far? Everybody at the front of the field looks to be through cleanly.
Slight contact in the back. Saw some smoke there.
Rod Eskew having an issue. He got off the racing surface. He's back on. Oh, same deal for Chris Preston. He runs a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Porcelli.
Paddock doing the same thing behind. He's going to keep the position to Yoshikawa in that purple and black Team Watson car. We'll see what we can do, but Graham Sanders already pulling out a bit of an advantage here. Oh, they were squirrely on exit. You got to be super careful on that turn 7 exit. Lap 1, the cold tires can get you.
Yeah, big save for Rossetti in the back, but oh man, that's not where you want to do that.
We'll put that battle up in the side-by-side window because that is a good one going on back here. Jason Sieg, Rossetti, Frankie D, Tom Whitmer, Benjamin Kopke coming around, Richard Holt. That's the battle for the 6th position. Your top 5 right now have separated themselves out over the line. Sanders, Porcelli, Preston, Paddock, and Yoshikawa.
So we'll see what happens the first time at speed through the S's. Turn 2, turn 3, down the hill.
Whoa, someone's got a problem. Leader of that pack in the second screen had serious issues at the exit of 1.
Yeah, the exit curve on turn 1 can really high center these PM18 cars and send you out there, so don't want to be touching that one. Everybody else looks like they've gotten through okay, so we head down the short chute.
A new name joins the names at the front that we've seen here over the last couple of seasons. Actually, 2 new names. Chris Preston and Nagisa Yoshikawa, 2 supremely talented drivers, but not guys that we've seen this close to the pointy end of the field early on here. James, these are a couple of guys that you know exceptionally well. Talk us through a little bit about the development curve that goes on here with the PM18s. The car doesn't change much in the iRacing updates. Really allows you guys to fine-tune things over there at Team Watson Racing Setups.
Yeah, as you can imagine, I'm loving seeing this right now. Like, I know these guys are supremely talented. They put so much work into this. They are giving it their all. Finally being able to see them run up front, battle for the lead, like I know that they're capable of. As taking my broadcaster cap and putting my team owner cap back on it's just really, really awesome to see.
Preston setting a new fastest lap of the race at a 1 minute 15.546 second lap. About 2/10 or so quicker than both Graham Sanders and David Porcelli. However, Sanders sitting on a 3/4 of a second lead over Porcelli right now. That's not enough to lose the draft here, Kylo, but if you're not careful, it can get out of reach pretty quickly.
Yeah, and you don't want to be making any risky moves. 10A and B are the best place to pass on the track, but they're also one of the better places to lose time on the track. If you go side by side through this complex they're going through now, A, the left-hander, B, the right-hander, you can lose over a second, and that's all the leader would need. About a second and a couple of tenths maybe, and the draft effectively negligible. Most of these guys running lower downforce, closer to no downforce on these PM18s, struggling through the first part of the track and then getting that straight line speed and the passing opportunity towards the back end.
Checking in the comments here. Let's see which ones of these we might be able to get up on the screen for you here, because we've got some good ones coming in.
Really good comments. We're speechless about them.
Yes, I'm getting the graphics, at least trying to get the graphics to work here. Mike McCullen disagreeing with me here, saying this is one of the best tracks. You're entitled to your wrong opinion there, Mike. We'll give it to you.
Oh, come on, Grant. At least you acknowledge its greatness, unlike certain other associate of ours at NRN.
That is correct.
Not a high opinion of this place.
Yes, well, Ben Carswell hates everything sports cars, so...
Okay, I was not going to dox him, okay? You had to call him out by name.
Yes, we do. Frankie gonna win it. Watch. That's coming from Richie Pink. Simon Fell checking in. Good to see you, Simon. He says good to see Frank again. Yeah,
amen to that.
Excited to see Frank win back in the show here. Vanity Fair saying Matt Houston, slowpoke. OBBG Star. Frank is back. Great to see. Hopefully they get better luck this season. I could agree with that one as well.
Yeah, I think Frank had to step away because if I've been following his streams well enough, I think he was having a lot of technical issues with getting iRacing to run, but it seems like he was finally able to get all that straightened back and back in the series, and it's awesome. We miss Frank. The series is a lot better with Frank running.
Unfortunately for Frank, looks like he was one of the lap 1 unfortunates. He's at the back of the pack now, running 16th. He has made a pit stop, and he's about 45 seconds off of these lead lap cars. Top 3 are the closest cars on the track right now. Sanders, Porcelli, and Preston running 1, 2, 3 right now. Porcelli doesn't look like he's pressing Graham too much. Looks like Preston's the closer of the two to making an overtake at this point in the race.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're kind of getting a reversal of fortunes. We've kind of been used to seeing like 1 against 2 with the Giudessa guys versus one other challenger, be it Everett or David. But now Graham's kind of experiencing what those guys have been dealing with, and having 2 teammates just sitting right there behind him, just waiting.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Porcelli and Preston, you can kind of just stay in line, open up the gap a little bit. I mean, it's 2.5 seconds back now to Everett Paddock. That's a far enough gap that he may not be able to make that up, even if he gets a little bit of drafting help from Nagisa Yoshikawa. Let the top 3 get out to a nice enough gap, and then you can settle it amongst yourselves here. You don't have to do it with 19 to go.
Nope, they're just going to be chilling for probably another...
Oh, no, they're not. Here goes David to the
Oh,
inside.
buddy.
Bud 10A and the left-hander. David Porcelli's going to take the lead. Sanders slides back in front of Preston in second place. Preston's close, though. He's pressing, going into turn 12 towards the finish line.
Man, look at them making their team boss look like an absolute chump. Gotta love it.
Here goes Preston. He's going to look to the inside. Sanders holds the outside well, though. Through turn 1 and up into the S's, they single it out. We'll see if the guys behind can catch up. This is what those guys, Everett and Nagisa, this is what they need to catch back up. They're about 3 seconds off the lead now.
A little bit surprised here to see Preston fall back just a tick, but he's also going to be able to use the draft to the fullest advantage here down the first of the long straightaways. Preston slots back in line into 6th. They'll make the uphill apex at turn 7, and then it's the big blast back down towards turn 10. Yes, we know there's a bunch of numbers missing in the middle there. Porcelli already trying to break the draft.
We'll see what kind of downforce levels they're running. Everybody should be pretty similar. It just looked like David was a little bit closer than he had been in the opening few laps. They all close right up into the chicane there, but do stay in line. Still about 3 seconds to 4th and 5th place behind them, so the speed's still there. We'll see if these guys keep fighting.
Let's go on board here with Chris Preston in the side-by-side. He's following second place Graham Sanders, first place David Porcelli. A couple other decent battles going on through the pack that we'll get back to here in just a moment. But as always, the racing at the pointy end of the field is absolutely fantastic.
Graham's super close here as they head into the braking at turn 6. Not quite a long braking zone there. Very high-speed corner turn 6. You really have to get slowed down for 7, which is that tricky uphill right-hander. Down the backstretch they go again. The gaps even out a little bit, but Graham is right there, only 0.2 of a second back as they head towards the end of the lap.
Sanders going to try to make the move outside into 10. He'll get the job done, and it's going to bring Chris Preston right back into play. Porcelli got to fight back inside through 11 and 12. This is going to be tight. Reminiscent of Sebring one season ago.
Oh, Sanders holds it around the outside. He's going to hold the lead going 1. Great racing from these guys up front. Preston was boxed in down the front straightaway. Couldn't make a move. He had the momentum, but very close stuff. Great job from these guys keeping it going.
Yeah,
here we go. They lost a lot of time. It's only 2 seconds now to Everett behind him. Preston right up on Porcelli.
And really no other battles going on the racetrack either here. We'll pick this one up momentarily on the right-hand side of the street. That's Benjamin Kopke and Frankie D. They're within a couple tenths of each other for the 8th and 9th positions. Kind of what we're seeing here at the front, no real major moves.
Oh, it looks like Preston's going to have a look here going into 10A. He's on the inside of Porcelli. They're getting the run, both of them on Sanders as they head into the braking zone. Preston's going to go way deep on the inside. He holds it and makes the corner. He's going to be up to second. Here comes Porcelli on the inside.
We're going to try this stunt again through turn number 12. Everybody, again, cleanly through. You got to be licking your lips here if you're Everett Paddock and Nagisa Yoshikawa. There's no way these guys can do this for 15 more laps. Oh, a little bit of contact there in one. Porcelli able to hold on to it. Preston not able to take advantage.
The gap only down to 1.2 seconds behind, so 4th place Everett Paddock might just start come into this battle. We know how quick Everett is, and Nagisa is happy to hold station right behind him, pulling him along here. Another big gap as they come down to turn 6 for Graham. Didn't do him much good last time, still under pressure at the end of the back straightaway.
I just can't believe how much side-by-side racing we're seeing. Road Atlanta is not a track you can realistically go side-by-side through for the most part. So this is incredible and terrifying.
Here we go again. Here comes David. He's got the run. Going to go to the outside. Have a look into the braking zone. Graham's going to hold the apex. They're side-by-side at corner exit. Once again, it's equal. Over the bridge and into the tunnel they go. Still side-by-side, down into turn 12. At the line, call it Porcelli, but it's neck and neck as they head into turn 1.
Not much to give there as we are down to 14 laps to go, rapidly approaching the halfway point here in race number 1 of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, coming to you from Road Atlanta. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in on YouTube and on Twitch. Let's make sure we get the likes and the shares and all that stuff done. John
wow. Look at that. We're now doing a Valify.
John Beta for asking on YouTube, I think it's John Beta for anyway, where are Graham's teammates? Good question. They are not entered in this one.
Oh, not at all. Rare to see only one geodesic car, and he's got to be sweating right now. Look at that pack behind him. It's now 4 cars in line behind Graham Sanders, your race leader. Not even halfway yet. Still got lots of racing to go, but we've seen these guys make moves. We know we can do it. Let's see who makes the next one.
Call it a 5-car battle here now for the race lead at the front of the field. Will be Graham Sanders, David Porcelli, Chris Preston, Everett Paddock, and Nagisa Yoshikawa battling for the race lead. Making their way up the hill, seeing everybody taking a little bit different line. Almost like on the low downforce set, you take a little different line just to try to find a little bit of air to get to those front wings.
A little bit of air or wherever the car just ends up for that corner apex. It's a bit of a luck of the draw. But, man, these tiny little PM18 cars, they're great for racing around here. It goes side by side the entire track.
Thus far, everybody remains on the lead lap with the exception of Brian Labarge, who is being scored 1 lap down. Porcelli thinking about the move. He's starting this one early. Porcelli with a big dive down into 10A, and that will be his position. Sanders tucks right back in line. They'll start to make their way up the hill, now down the hill under the Fox Racing Shocks Bridge. Top 3 opening up the gap once again here. Porcelli holding the lead. Here comes Sanders inside into 1.
Well, Porcelli's looking to hold it around the outside. He does keep it on the track. Sanders is there. Now Preston's on his left-hand side. Man, they all file it back out, but Graham Sanders once again back to the lead, able to come back on Porcelli. If that's last lap pass, Porcelli has it, but as they head into turn 1, Graham's able to take that pass back. He's done it a couple of times now.
Tiniest bit of an error right at the start of the S's that time for Graham Sanders allowed David Porcelli to close right back up. call it less than a car length between these two as they make their way through 7. Same deal for Chris Preston and Everett Paddock now. All 4 of these drivers, front wing to rear attenuator as they make the blast down the hill.
Yeah, they almost had a stack up as they went into 6 there, just on the brakes. Here comes Sporcelli again. He's got the run. He's going to go to the right, to the outside for 10A, into the braking zone. Looks like it's his corner, and it is. Graham's going to tuck in line. And it looks like this time Porcelli is going to be able to hold it. He's got a bigger gap going down into turn 1. Oh, Graham one's a little wide there. Preston's going to have a look on the inside as they head into 1.
Gutsy move here by Chris Preston. He wants a piece of Graham Sanders as they get up the hill to 2. They're going to have to single file out by the time they start to work through the S's, and it will be Graham Sanders holding on to 3rd.
I tell you, Yoshikawa in the background, he's just hoping that they just fight a little bit more. Yosh just needs that tiny little bit to make this a 5-car scrum.
Man, he's got that Limo Boys special there, getting a podium when the leaders all wreck. One more time we go into 7, down the back straightaway. Quite a bit of a gap here, about 0.4 of a second between all 3 cars. Shouldn't be enough room to make a move here. Everett just dropping off, and Yoshi just another 0.8 of a second off him there. Not close enough this time, though, as they head into 10A. They're going to stay single file. It looks like these 3 at the front are able to break away, but every time they go side by side, it just brings Everett and Yoshi back in that little bit that they need to keep the draft here, to keep them in line. I don't think they have the outright speed to challenge at the front.
And James, that really boils down to the massive hole that these PM18s punch in the air. You get side by side, and that 1 to 1.2 second gap becomes 1.5 seconds, and you can really feel a big pull.
Yeah, it's because these cars don't really pull a whole lot of power. So the big hole they punch in, it comes in handy with, because you don't have a whole lot of horsepower to really kind of pull from.
Oh, looking at a move into 6. We don't see that too often. Sanders is going to get the move done before the back straightaway. He's going to be a sitting duck, though. Porcelli on the accelerator, already on his inside. He won't have a run. Look to Preston in 3rd place to have a run as they head down to 10AB.
Chris so wants to send this 3 wide. You can tell he's thinking about it. I don't think he's going to, but he wants to.
Porcelli's going to have the lead as they enter the braking zone. They're 3 wide on the entry. Sanders on the inside. Porcelli in the middle. He gets squeezed out. Preston's going to move up into 2nd. Sanders going to hold the lead as they head down the hill.
Oh my goodness. 3 wide through 10A at Road Atlanta. Yes, we can do that. We just watched them. Good Lord. Inside of 10 laps to go. 9 remaining now. Graham Sanders is your race leader, but maybe not for much longer. Chris Preston biding his time in 3rd. Now he's up to 2nd. Gutsy move outside into 10A. Same little bit of a bobble there for each of those drivers right at the beginning of the S's. Man, this is going to get wild because now the pull is going to be huge down the backstretch. Almost an off track for Preston. Big run down towards 6.
Porcelli got wiggly as they head out of 5 there over that big runoff area that you can use. Does jump the back end of these cars. Preston a little squirrely on the accelerator as they head down the back straightaway. He's about 0.3 of a second back. Plenty of a run, but we'll see if he has enough. All 5 cars back in a line. They've slowed themselves down. It's now a 5-car battle again. Here he comes. Preston's coming to the outside. He's going to go on the left. The outside move where he made the pass on Porcelli last lap. He has the inside for B. Sanders is going to hold it now. Here comes Porcelli on the inside. A little bit of grass as they go over 11. Through 12 they go. Preston has the outside, has the momentum. He's going to hold 2nd place.
James is about to have a stroke over here watching the NBA Finals while he's calling this game with her, calling this race with us, I should say. Absolutely.
No, it was definitely because of the action. It was definitely because of the action we're seeing right now.
This is intense at the front of the field, and quite frankly, we've seen a couple of minor mistakes here, James. The problem is a big mistake now could take out all 5 of the top running cars.
Yeah, if I was James Galloway in sixth place, I'd be keeping an eye on his relative. He may be handed a pretty nice finish here at the rate we're going.
Keeping an eye, let's slide back in the field just a little bit here because we do have another battle that has formed up. This is going to be Russ Addy, Frankie D, and Jason Sieg. And we'll pull our race leaders back up here in the left-hand box for you as well. So a couple of battles going out on the racetrack right now. Addy, D, and Sieg battling for positions 9, 10, and 11. But significantly behind our race leaders. Race leaders already through turn 1. These guys just getting back towards turn 11.
Guys at the front are flying. Preston had a nice run. Looked to the outside, but Graham had the inside line for turn 1. Back into line they go. It's now 4 cars that have broken off here. Everett kind of separated himself from Yoshikawa in 5th. He's still hanging on, though. He still will get a little bit of that draft help. But it's definitely these 3 at the front. Sanders, Preston, and Porcelli that are going to be battling it out for the win. If they can keep it clean. If they can keep it clean.
Something about ifs and buts is coming to mind here at the moment. But going to be interesting to watch here over these 7 laps. James, is there any concern about burning off the tires or anything here? Or I mean, the cars are basically set up for the sprint. As once again, we're going to see Chris Preston try to make the dive outside into 10.
He's going to make it work, too. Chris Preston, Limo Boys and Team Watson Racing is going to take the lead with only 5 laps to go as they come to the line here now. No, excuse that, 6 laps to go as they come to the line here. Great run from him. He's going to block the inside line, make sure Sanders stays behind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all just absolutely tomahawking their tires.
Yeah, definitely tire wear can be a thing, especially when you're running through these S's at higher speeds. The back end of the S is 4, X, Y, and Z, especially. Very high speed and can burn out the tires if you're running right up against another car trying to make those apexes. So
turn 1 too, because you're arguably using the tires the most at turn 1. And with some of the moves and side-by-side racing we're seeing in turn 1, that's not good if you don't have any tire to keep it on the black stuff.
Decent job of it so far. Sanders already alongside Preston. He was closer through 6 and 7. He's going to have a run, but not too much of a run. He's going to lose out on top speed. Porcelli was looking the quickest. He's going to back out. Sanders on the left, Preston on the right. Back to the other side they go. Sanders is going to take the lead now. Porcelli's looking to the inside through 12.
Oh, man, this is insane. Call it Porcelli at the line that time, 5 to go. He'll have the inside position into turn number 1. But Sanders going to hold the outside lane. You wonder if he's going to give up a little bit of time here to Chris Preston as they make their way through 2. They're going to have to settle it down through 3 in the S's.
No fear from these front runners here. Throwing it side by side wherever they see a space. Preston falling off a little bit. Everett was looking, but he does back off going into the braking zone of 6. And that tricky turn 7 right-hander, especially now when we're at the back end of this race, the tire wear will come into effect. Those rears will light up really quick, especially on that over that crest of turn 7. You got to watch out for that. Sanders already pulled up. He's going to take to the left this time as they head down the backstretch. Oh, and Preston's going to send it up the inside.
Oh, he does it again.
He does it through.
Oh, Sanders is loose.
Oh, he holds it. Preston's going to hold the lead. Porcelli into second place. Sanders slots back into 4th place. How did he save that race car?
Oh, my goodness. Hold on. We've got to see this again on the instant replay. That car wrecked. He was absolutely junked. 3 wide into 10A. Wow.
Man, how did he not hit Preston there? What a job from Graham Sanders to keep that thing going. He's still got a shout. He's right up on the gearbox of Everett Paddock as they head down the back straightaway. Up front, it's Preston, Porcelli, and Paddock as they head down the back straightaway. 4 laps remain. There's the move from both of them. To the left, Porcelli's going to move into first position, Preston to second. Sanders is going to get past Paddock, and he's going to move back up into third. So the front 3, with 3 laps to go, are going to go at it here. Back to normality and the normality of chaos as they head into turn 1.
Yeah, it didn't take Graham long to get back into third.
Absolute insanity is what's going on here. Currently, David Porcelli, Chris Preston, Graham Sanders, Everett Paddock, your top 4. Oh, man, we might have had a little bit of a bobble there.
Yeah, Preston just bobbled a little bit on that exit at turn 5. Sanders is going to get him into 6, and Preston is going to line up. He's going to get a good exit out of 7. Already going to line up Graham Sanders. We'll see what lane Porcelli chooses, see if he can give a little bit of a tow to his teammate behind.
Still going to be side by side down that long back straightaway. Here comes Everett Paddock. He wants a piece of the action into 10.
Once Sanders has a little bit of a bobble in 10B, so he's going to lose out a lot of time here, going to fall under pressure to Paddock for 4th place now in 4th place. Meanwhile, Porcelli up front checked out as far as this race is concerned. 0.6 of a second, the largest lead we've seen this race.
Preston, too. Graham's got to get back on it. He's on the verge of falling out of draft range.
2 laps to go as we come through the S's. See if we can get the graphics and timer back up on our screen here for everybody here, just to keep track of what's going on.
Yep, that's we are working on that one here as we speak.
Lap 23 of 24, Porcelli, Preston, Sanders, Paddock, and Yoshikawa, the top 5. Bit of a gap between everybody. 0.6 in between the top 3, make that top 4 cars now as they head down the backstretch. Porcelli doing his best Marcus Ericsson impression as they head down into the braking zone. One more time through. 10A, 10B, into 11 under the bridge, over the hill to turn 12. They're going to see the white flag this time by Porcelli, Preston, or Sanders. Who is it going to be?
Absolute insanity making our way around here. Through the S's one final time. Right now it's Porcelli, Preston, Sanders, Paddock, and Yoshikawa, but that may not be how they finish.
He's got a good run, Preston does, on Porcelli here. Don't know if the move's into 6, though. You might want that back straightaway to defend. He's going to hold the inside. They're going to be side by side through 7. Sanders licking his lips in 3rd place there. We'll see who can get on the gas pedal first. Looks like it's going to be Preston. Preston might grab the lead and clear Porcelli. No, here comes Porcelli back at it. Sanders looking behind. He's got to make it 3 wide if he wants to make a move. Porcelli throws a block. Sanders still finds the lane. 3 wide as they head down to turn 10A and 10B, the final lap. Preston's going to have the lead into the braking zone. Sanders sends it in on the inside. Porcelli to 3rd. Preston into the lead. Here comes Sanders on the other side.
There's contact!
Preston's going to loop it on the exit. Graham Sanders is going to get the win at Road Atlanta. Nagisa Yoshikawa gets Everett Paddock for 2nd. Everett Paddock's 3rd. Porcelli and then Preston, the top 5 there. What an end to that race.
Oh my goodness. That was abject insanity. In that final lap, Graham Sanders somehow comes away with the win. Good Lord, that was crazy. James, what is going through your head at the moment here? Porcelli and Preston basically taking each other out here in this thing. Man alive, that was absolute insanity.
We got to try and find a replay of that last chicane just to see. They entered 3 wide. There's cars still finishing the race, by the way. The last few cars are crossing the finish line now. But, man, we'll see if we can get a look at that. 3 wide. Preston was on the outside. Porcelli, Sanders really sent it up the inside. Porcelli backed out, knew he was in the worst spot, and Preston just drove it a little wide. All he did was run a little bit wide, and that lost him 4 positions. In the background of the smoke, you just saw Yoshikawa getting past Paddock. Presumably, Paddock had to check up in order to not wreck himself.
So here's Preston up the inside, got it a little bit wide, clipped the grass. David Porcelli got a big old piece of the action there. Flat T-boned him. The net code let him drive through it. Both of those cars will finish, but not where they were hoping to this evening.
No, thankfully we cut away from that replay of Preston before it ended there. Not a happy man at the end of that race, and rightfully so. He had it locked up, and just a small mistake, just the smallest mistake, and he goes down to P5.
Wow, let's run you through the field here real quick before we get started with our Victory Lane interviews. Graham Sanders picking up the win over Nagisa Yoshikawa, Everett Paddock, David Porcelli, and Chris Preston, your top 5. All in all, still a great points night for every one of those guys. James Galloway coming home 6th, Richard Holt 7th, Russ Addy in the 8th position, Jason Sieg 9th, and Benjamin Kopke going to round out the top 10. 11 to 15, Frankie D, Rod Eskew, Frank Wynn, Matt Houston, and John Landon. Tom Whitmer, Brian Labarge coming home in 16th and 17th. And that will round out your 17-car field here this evening. Intense racing. Man alive, I can't wait to talk to these guys. Let's first bring in, let's see, we're first we got to queue up the replay here. That one looks good. Let's bring in the guy who is our race winner tonight in a nail-biter, intense, edge-of-your-seat racing action. Mr. Graham Sanders, you picked up a championship last season. Not a bad way to start your title defense here in Victory Lane, and really what was a pretty monster strength of field race.
Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. That was you'd think that was the last race of the season, but no, that was week 1. Yeah, that was really, really tough holding off the teammates, and plus Everett and Nagisa, who were also teammates right there with us there towards the second half of the race. Yeah, that was just edge of the seat from beginning to end. That was a blast.
Graham, did you think you had the car to hold them at the front, or were they a little bit more trimmed out than you running down that back stretch? It was hard to tell.
I think they were trimmed out a bit more. I was just about on the lowest wing setting. I think they might have been on the lowest wing setting, so they had a bit easier time in draft. I think I needed to be like 3/10 behind them to get up next to them and go into 10A. But yeah, that was a real challenge.
Looking ahead to things a little bit here, this season is a little bit different from seasons past in terms of scheduling and how the races are laid out and everything else. This really shapes up to be almost anyone's game because there's not a lot of returning venues on the schedule this season. It really could be anybody's game.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some tracks on the schedule that I'm not super familiar with, but a great schedule nonetheless. I think we're at Barcelona Historic next week, so I don't think we've seen that in the last 2 seasons. So that should be fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and congratulations on picking up the win here. Final question before we let you go here. Only you in the geodesic cars here tonight. Is that the plan going forward for the season, or will we see more of the team cars here as the season rolls on?
Hopefully we see some more teammates. Unfortunately, John's got a new schedule this season, so he will. I don't think he'll be able to do most of the broadcast races. But I'll try and drag some help into here. It'll be fun because there's a lot of teams out there to fight with. So.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on picking up the win here to kick off the season. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, of course. Just want to thank the team. I want to thank all the sponsors: GSI, Wave Italy, GoPro, Alpine Stars. John was here in spirit this week, so hopefully we'll see him here in a few.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here, and let's bring in our runner-up finisher tonight here, Nagisa Yoshikawa. And man, I'll tell you what, bud, it's been a little bit since we got to talk to you here, but congratulations. Hell of a run coming home second. What was your perspective on the last lap shenanigans?
It was just insane. Like watching all those guys just fight, even the whole race. It was just, I don't know how they do it, honestly. It's the first time I've kind of been up with the lead pack on a road course that wasn't like a messy race. And it was just, I don't know how they do it, to be honest. But I figured that something might break at some point, and I was hoping it wouldn't be, my teammates. But just I was kind of at the perfect distance to just get a really good run when they all held each other up. So yeah, really happy with it.
What has changed in, I don't want to say the last 2 weeks, because we saw you running up more towards the front towards the end of 22S2 as well. What do you think is going on over there that's helping your performance here? We're seeing you towards the sharp end of the grid. Is it the Team Watson Racing setups? Is it the community? You guys seem to be putting a lot of effort into this. What would you credit the improved success to?
I mean, yeah, for sure. It's definitely everyone on the team and just, having people to work with, and that is really helpful. But honestly, just, at some point I've really turned a corner. I think just in general, especially with the setups, the setup was really good tonight. And just overall, I used to it would always be a good one lap pace, and I would fall back a ton on the starts and get stuck in the battle, which is definitely what would have happened today. But good enough qualifying, which finally kind of paid off. And then just trying to work, I've been practicing a lot and just trying to work on wheel-to-wheel racing and just, holding my position on the starts and stuff like that. And it's really paid off.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on a fantastic finish here tonight. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, Team Watson Racing setups. We've been working really hard on everything, the whole team. And yeah, check us out. Team Watson Racing as well. And just everyone in the community lately has been good. And everyone racing tonight, as usual, it's been really respectful and great. And thanks you guys for broadcasting as always. So yeah, great.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And let's bring in our third place finisher tonight, Mr. Everett Paddock. And man, we didn't get to talk to you a ton last season. Very excited to have you back in the booth with us here up on the podium tonight. And congratulations on the third place finish. Kind of the same question we just asked Nagisa, but what were you thinking? What were you seeing there in that last lap run down towards 10A?
Yeah, I was like, am I too close? And I think we got the answer to that. I was a little too close.
Yeah, a little bit of pucker factor Zulu there, but ultimately you come home third. Great way to start the season, and we're again seeing some really strong fields here for the SOF race. I would tend to think this is going to be a pretty big points night for you as well. Got to be pretty happy with how the season's starting off.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I don't like to be gifted a podium like that. I mean, I'd rather race for it. But yeah, it was, still, you don't want to take or look a gift horse in the mouth, right? I'll take the points.
Well, all in all, a fantastic run for you. Nice job coming home third. And quite frankly, the pace was there. That was something I think may have been lacking a little bit last season, was just the outright pace. anything change setup wise, or in terms of the thought process and what you're doing here over the off season, or well, off week, I guess, or just getting back to a racetrack that you really like?
Yeah, I think it was more the latter, right? You know, I think I'm better suited for low downforce stuff, and I think we just had a lot of high downforce stuff at in season 2, so it just didn't really suit my strengths. Plus, the competition was tough. You know, just sometimes all I could do was just hang on.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, just gonna thank my teammates. It was good to see Russ have a top 10. So I appreciate the broadcast, fellas. Have a good one.
All right, bud. We appreciate you checking in with us here. Let's do one more. Let's bring David Porcelli in here. David, let's get your perspective here. The whole race, quite frankly, was insane. But that last run down to 10A, 3 wide through a chicane is, well, I'll say never a great idea. You guys did it a couple of times tonight. What were you seeing from where you were sitting?
I knew that once I wasn't sure if Graham was going to be able to outbrake me on the inside because I just had a car length on him, but he was able to get down in there. And I knew once I was in the middle that like the wisest course of action is to just let them duke it out through 10 and hope I can pick up something. Yeah, I was sort of bummed because, you know, I had the lead on those last 2 laps and we had a good gap there. My first sector on lap 24 was not as strong as it could have been. And I think that allowed Graham to get under Chris, and that made Chris a little antsy. So he made his move into 6, and that invited just chaos into the end. I'm just really happy that I was able to still come home with the top 5, considering what was happening there at the exit of the chicane. So yeah. What a race. I'm glad we could put on a good show for you as a season opener. It'll definitely get some attention for the series.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. Another iRacing top 10 finish here. All in all, what really could have turned into a drop week with that incident, you come home with a top 5. It's really not much of the no harm, no foul. Maybe not completely, but not the worst that incident could have been. Got to be pretty pumped here as we head into the schedule. I know you talked last season about wanting to be consistent. We're seeing a lot of that here in the early part of this season is being there at the end.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the new season and to be, you know, leading a race on merit alone and looking at a win at the first race. It feels good, and I'm excited for the rest of the season and see what we can do here.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the nice finish here tonight. Good top 5 to start the season. And before we let you go, get the sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Just thanks to you guys for letting me come in and like steal an interview, even though I didn't make the podium. So thank you for that.
That's awesome. All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And man, as we go back to the live look, Kyla, we'll go to you first. Man, that was absolutely intense. Great, perfect way to start the season.
And not if you're a Limo Boys Racing fan. I'm heartbroken for Chris right now. That was his moment of glory, and just the slightest mistake. He's kicking himself. I'm kicking myself watching it. Tough, but a good run from everybody. Great race, obviously, to start the year. Last time we were at Road Atlanta, it was a little bit of a snooze fest. I think it was 2 or 3 seasons ago now. It wasn't that great of a race, but definitely a good way to kick off this season, and just excited to see what it brings the next couple of weeks here. Barcelona next week, another super draft lock track I think we'll be at, so we'll see if the same kind of thing happens. Lots of moves, lots of drafting, and lots of action from the Indy Pro 2000s.
Yeah, and James, quite frankly, it's sort of a similar feeling for you. I would imagine you guys invest a lot of time in these cars. Ultimately, maybe not the result that you guys would have wanted, but at the same time, a couple of top 5s is not a terrible way to start the season.
No, it was still a great run for the team. Very impressive. Good way to start the season off. If I didn't watch it and just saw the results, would have been very good. But yeah.
All right, boys. Well, it is time for us to get the heck on out of here. We have got a busy weekend here for some of the National Racing Network crew. We will be heading down to Dominion Speedway in Fredericksburg, Virginia, helping the Cars Tour Pit Row TV crew get that show on the air this weekend. Check out the Virginia is for Lovers 125 over at pitrow.tv. You can also find it at carstour.tv. And if any of those links are unfunctional at the moment, just check them out at carstour.com. The Rock Solid Carriers, Cars Tour, late model stock cars, short track, high banks. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to be doing that one again. Loved that place last year. Looking forward to getting back there again. We'll be back on Monday night with more iRacing content. It will be the Fuel Premier Series. Down to the next to last round, the penultimate round of the Fuel Finals. That one's going to be fun, and looking forward to that one. We're back with Wednesday night, the Sim Racers Club back in action. And then we're right back here Thursday night. Also, the High Side Hustle will be back next week with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright, recapping everything that went on at Eastern Storm Week. Check that one out. Briggs Danner, young kid, going toe-to-toe with some of the best that sprint car racing has ever had on offer. Really fantastic racing there as well. But with that, we are getting the heck on out of here. It's been a long night of broadcast excellence, but man, we love bringing it to you. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you people watching out there. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. For James Watson, Kylo Ciacelli, and everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.